Okay.
Yes. As I
As I
understand, is also master. Yes. Sustainable and zero emission buildings and goal of taking LEED and other certificates for buildings. Osama and Hassan.
Hello everyone, my name is Usama and this is my teammate Hassan, and today we will be talking about sustainable and zero emission buildings, and we will talk about LEED certifications and other technologies for building.
So spend more than 90% of their time inside buildings, either schools, Osama, can you mute yourself?
Sure.
Sorry, there's an echo. I think one of them close.
Yeah. So humans spend more than 90% of their time inside buildings, schools, universities, or offices. So developed countries must realize the importance of energy efficiency in the sector of buildings. For example, most government activities are buildings based. So if they choose the energy efficiency designs in and the materials in their buildings, they would create a good influence on the sector of buildings. Next slide, we can say that the energy efficient buildings are buildings that were designed and constructed to enhance the use of energy and decrease waste. Then we can say the main importance is that it provides opportunity of saving money and reducing emissions and pollutions. A strength, we can say reducing energy consumption and loss in the buildings. A weakness, we can say that it requires bigger initial investment. An opportunity, we can say the ability of saving billions of dollars annually in energy consumption and loss. And a threat, we can say that it affects public health negatively if not dealt with good care. Then we can see here in the figure.
Hassan, sorry,
yes.
I have a question at the previous slide. Yes, what is this table name? Strength. Yeah, great. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Here in the figure we can see the total gross energy needs for the building with the losses and the gains of them. We can say that the building size, design, and use as well are determined based on the calculations. Government should provide the guidelines and methodologies for these calculations. And mostly they are programmed, these calculations are programmed and made into a software which makes it easier to calculate by engineers. And we will give an example about this method in the coming slides. Here we can reduce the heat. Okay, next slide. Yes, we can reduce the heat by selecting efficient systems with effective controls, or we can improve the insulation in the fabrics of the building. For cooling, we can reduce the internal heat gains and reduce the lightning loads. We can, for the ventilation requirements, we can build effective window designs, and we can use mechanical ventilation systems. We can make maximum daylight possible use for the lighting, and we can provide automatic light switch to prevent the unnecessary use of light. As for heating water, we can simply install time controllers to provide heated water in specified times. And energy equipment, we can take more care about switching off the unnecessary usage and upgrade the equipment. The coming slide will show us the biggest challenge for the energy efficient buildings, which is the financing part. And the main reasons the failures actually happen in these projects is that they are way too optimistic, either by overstating the benefits or by understating the cost. So we locate the buildings that will be invested in, we identify the measures required, and then we establish and calculate the costs and savings. We optimize the financial return of the project. We establish and identify the sources of the investment and capital, and then we make the decision by choosing the best project. And then the last slide for me will show the policies which differ between countries. And one type of the policies, for example, is one that starts in the emerging countries, and it focuses on the energy use only with no regulations on the buildings themselves. Actually, these policies, they guide the Ministry of Energy on what they want and should achieve and how long it will take them. And the makers of the policies need to understand the benefits of the buildings actually with more energy efficiency and while securing the supply and reducing the need of imported energy, bringing down the energy bills, reducing the impact of energy on the environment. And this figure shows the four bodies of the that make up these policies, which are the agency, the regulator, the adjudicating body, and the appellate tribunal. And then we'll move on to Osama.
Thank you, Hassan. Now we have talked about energy efficient buildings in general. Let's go more specific now and consider one characterization of energy efficient buildings, which are called zero emission buildings. In general, we can define them by a net zero carbon emission, and this could be achieved by two ways. One of them is in-house energy production, and the second is net zero energy consumption. We can also add that different organizations define them differently. However, for our project, we resourced the Australian Sustainable Built Energy Council, and they have defined zero emission buildings into different groups based on their usage. As you can see, there's a term before use, during use, and after use. You can see different types from the figure. So we have talked about energy efficient buildings and different types of them. How can you really understand how efficient a building is? LEED and other organizations have created a certification system for that purpose. LEED measure how efficient a building is by giving different certification to each building. As you can see from the figure, there's LEED, there's silver, there's gold, and platinum. And this could be earned by having a specific score in credits. For example, they can earn 18 credits if they improve their district energy, or 5 credits by renewable energy. The main purpose of LEED goes into 3 aspects: to maintain green environments, and to maintain economic prosperity, along with maintaining human health. Here you can see different fields that LEED are interested in. Just to give you some numbers, for example, between 2015 and 2018, LEED certified buildings alone have saved over $2 billion. We did some calculation and we estimate around $2,500 billion could be saved annually if all buildings were LEED certified. Because it's an emerging technology and it's very important, new technologies have been developed for this purpose, just like the red light we all know. Some other technologies are about insulation, about advanced window control system, and roofing materials. So, what we recommend you to have a better an energy efficient building is focus on insulation, ventilation, and try to reach out to LEED construction companies. Here in the graph, you can see a project that has been implemented in Ankara, and it shows great results. This is another project which shows around 35% of total energy efficiency. Now, in conclusion, energy efficient buildings in general and zero emission buildings in specific are technologies that help us reduce our energy consumption and eliminate our energy waste. The main concept of it is to use creative thinking and engineering design to reduce our energy consumption and try to save the world. Thank you everyone for listening. We would be happy to hear any questions.
Okay, thank you very much for this informative and energetic presentation, Osama and Hassan. Now, yes, you can close it, Osama. Thank you. Okay, so now we are on the